Okay, let me get that for a moment. When was the last time that you took a 2-week vacation without your business interrupting you? How much time did you spend with your loved ones, your kids, yesterday? More or less of what you would have wanted? Look, I have the idea that working long hours in your business and missing out on life, this has been glorified, but it's not the norm. Shouldn't be like that. Because those moments are not coming back. But there is a solution and it's easier than you think. You may just don't know how to implement it. You can step back from the day-to-day operations of your business, have that extra time and not sacrifice revenue or growth. I will show you now which is the path forward so you can stop missing those family dinners, okay? Let's get into it. Hey, welcome. My name is Daniel and I am super passionate about helping business owners like yourself systemize their way out of their business so they can live the rich life that they deserve and that they want in their own terms. Okay, so first of all, who is this video for? If your business has product market fit and a sizable amount of customers already, then you are perfect for this video. If your business is starting out and you haven't reached that point yet, frankly, you can stop watching. This video will serve you later in your journey. Okay, so if you're still here, then this means that this video is for you. So probably you have already read several business books, and in all business books, they tell you if you want to scale, you have to systemize your business. You have to create systems, processes, workflows, and everything. I don't think I'm uncovering anything new to you. But holy moly, this is so easy to say, so short, but it is such a daunting task, right? Like, I wouldn't even know how to start, where to start from. Like, yes, it's just too much. And the worst part is that this is never urgent. It is just very important. So other urgent things are coming in the way, preventing us from actually systemizing our business. But I mean, who can blame you? There are a ton of systems in a company. The hiring process, the buying process, how to upload a file to our CMS, how to create a landing page, how to create a Facebook ad, how to close a deal, how to invoice. There are just so many. So how do we go from this, so many, oh my God, I don't know where to get started, to, oh, this was easier than I expected. Okay, step one, let's start. Well, I always, in my life, in my business, I always try to see things by the amount of output they're going to give me. And I prioritize those that the ratio input to output is the greatest. So instead of asking ourselves, okay, how do I systemize my company? Maybe we have to change to a higher quality question. If I could only systemize one part of my business, which one would that be? Which of all the systems that we can create is going to bring my company the biggest revenue? And the answer to this question is almost always serving my customer. Every single one step that it takes for my company to serve my customer. So what if we started systemizing that part of the business first and slowly creating the documentation for it? We already know that this has a great impact. So this can be a super good starting point. Just by doing this, you will be able to hire help to help you out on the process or on some parts of the process. Just by doing this, you will be able to double, triple your capacity and your revenue. And then once that's created, you can start with other systems, other accessory systems in your company, which we will see a little bit later in the video. So defining this first and most important process, it is the first thing that I do with every one of my clients in a session that I call system extraction. And why do I call it that? Because I simply extract that system from the business owner's mind or from whoever is doing that process's mind. Because that system is already in place, but it's just here. We just have to bring it down to earth so other team members or future team members can follow the same steps at the same standard. And this is what I'm going to show you now how to do for yourself. Well, I have noticed that only 15% of you watching this video are actually subscribed to the channel. If you want to help more business owners also find the freedom that their businesses can provide, please consider subscribing so YouTube knows that this video is valuable and more business owners see it. And as a token of my appreciation, I vow to make the best business content that I can make. Let's get to the computer and let's get into it. So the first thing that I always do is I open this app called Whimsical, but honestly, any diagram-based app is going to be enough. And I already have this template with the different steps that every typical business goes through. And now within each of them, I'm gonna start writing which is the process or the things that are involved. So I'm gonna go step by step with an example agency company. So let's say that this is a web development agency and we're gonna go through this whole process so you see how I will do it. Now you may be wondering if your company has more than one product or service, like for which service do I create this for? Well, for the service that is the most important to you, aka the one that brings the most revenue. Then you can systemize the other ones, okay? But as you can see, we are just focusing on the best that we can do with a minimum amount of effort. So let's say that this is the process for building a website for this website agency. So how do they get their customers to know that they exist? Okay, so it can be Facebook ads and YouTube organic. Okay, now next step of the process. What happens next? What happens after they have seen an ad or they have seen one of the videos? So let's say that they have a landing page with a Calendly link so they can book a sales call with them. So this is gonna be landing page and Calendly. Okay, so what happens after they have booked a Calendly call? This is the beginning of the sales process and we have the qualification call. So we finish the call and what happens next? So as you see, I'm just asking myself what happens next every time. What happens after the call? So we send in a proposal. Okay, I'm oversimplifying this, but what happens after we send the proposal? If the client accepts, we send the first invoice. And then what happens? The next step is the conversion. So when they go from being a lead to being a client. So what happens here? Invoice paid. That's it. If this was a full project, I will also be thinking about the different automations that we can build here. So for example, this invoice paid can trigger an automation to then build a whole project in a project management tool, but that's not really the point now. So now, how do we onboard the client once the client's paid? How do we onboard him? We have a welcome email and set up Webflow project. And now, how are we going to fulfill the client? I have left a little bit more space here because typically the fulfillment can get a little bit long, but let's oversimplify for the sake of this video. And let's just write here, build website, test website, and client reviews website. Let's do it easy. And this could be a loop. After the client reviews, we apply the changes. But here I will be writing every step of the process. Okay, so that is it. And now, which is the offboarding. So after the project has been done, what do we do? So we may send final invoice and then the offboarding email. And that will be it. This is the oversimplification of how a Webflow agency may work. So now, how is this useful? Because we cannot really follow this process anywhere. So we are going to need an infrastructure so our team can actually follow this system and track all our clients, all the tasks involved and everything. So, you know, if you've been following my channel, you know that I love Notion and Notion is the app that I use for these kind of things. So what I do after I have created this diagram, I will try to think which Notion statuses, because my idea is that I'm going to have a database with a status property and I want that status property to be fully descriptive of the part of the process that the project is in. So which Notion statuses am I going to need to describe each part of the process that I want to know of? And I'm just gonna write them right here below. So when they fill the Calendly, maybe the status is lead. Then after we have sent the proposal, so all this is gonna be lead. After I send the proposal, this is proposal sent. After I've sent the first invoice, maybe this is waiting for payment and so on. I will do this for every part of the process. And this will be finished. So now we will be using this to create the whole system in Notion or in the project management tool of your choice. We'll be thinking of the different views that each team member may need along this process. Maybe the sales team needs a sales related view. So we will create a view just with these statuses maybe. We're also going to be thinking about the SOPs or the documents that are going to explain how to do each of the tasks that are going to be needed. We may also start building the internal automation. So let's say that every time that we land on the build website status, we always do the same 10 tasks. So we can automate those task creation. And even those tasks that get created can be linked to the SOP that explains how to do it. So like this, everyone, any team member can do it. And you as the business owner don't have to keep doing it. And now picture that once you have this diagram over here visible for your whole company, you have the infrastructure, the project management software ready in Notion or in other platform for your team to track actual projects. And all the documentation that explains your team how to do each and every task along the way, you have all the ingredients to start delegating this process, focus more on the business strategy or whatever in your business it is that you love the most, and or have more free time for your family, for your hobbies, for your whatever. And we have just created one single system, but the most important one. And once you have gone through this whole process, you just have to repeat this process for every other system inside of your company, but at your own pace, because the most important one is already created. So if you want to see how a business system looks like, head over to this video and I will show you. That is it for this video, guys, and as always, hasta la próxima.